Hello, everybody. I'm Janine, and at Bleating Heart. I'm a little bit sick still. My throat is a little bit crinkly crackly. That's true, Crid Sedova. Those Borns are kind of Thisbe-coated. We're here for some Fashion Friday. Now, we missed the end of that demon story, but don't worry. I figured out a solution, and that solution is not for me personally to read the whole thing, because we got a lot of story stuff, we got a lot of boy cards. I'm already going to be reading, and my voice is already super fucked. But I've got a compromise, and it involves text-to-speech and a virtual whiteboard, and hopefully it will be satisfactory. It is not a visitor. No. I didn't want to have someone on just to read 15 minutes worth of some fucking story. So yeah, let's give this a shot.
Chapter 4. A
There we
Demon
go.
Alive. I give up. Eli waved her hand, dispelling the illusions along with the seductive magic she created. Back in reality, Eli finally figured out the situation thanks to Moon's explanation. Moon had detected her tailing early on and had been playing dumb and acting pious to lower Eli's guard. She had deliberately gone to the abandoned church to lure Eli out so not to endanger others. Moreover, Moon had actually used a disguise spell in the city. It was terrible, Eli wanted to say. But remembering that her own disguise had been easily seen through, she kept quiet. Now fully awake, Moon restored her gentle smile, as if nothing had happened. So, what brings you to the human world? Eli didn't answer. Using the non-aggression pact between heaven and hell, she suddenly lay down on the spot, lazily swishing her tail, looking like a scoundrel who couldn't be touched. Surprisingly, Moon didn't get angry. Instead, she sat properly beside Eli, smoothing out the wrinkles in her dress. She then tugged on the chain, pulling Eli closer and letting her rest her head on her lap. The ground is so hard. Come, lie here and tell me. Though unsure of Moon's intentions, Eli figured she might as well enjoy it. She even found a more comfortable position. Turning her head, she noticed the dragonfly ornament on Moon's dress. I remember dragonflies spend most of their lives as nymphs or immature with only a short time to fly. Such short-lived, pitiful creatures. Why choose this as decoration? Yes, dragonflies, Moon replied, focused on flipping through her notebook, completely missing the point. Eli curiously peeked at the notebook's pages, which were filled with detailed information about demons. It sent chills down her spine, causing her to adopt a more cautious attitude. Are you researching demons? Mm-hmm. Because I really like demons. Look at these horns, aren't they beautiful? They'd make great decorations or magical materials. Moon reached out to touch Eli's horns, then quickly moved down to grab her tail. I recall that the crystal at the end of a demon's tail is the source of their magic. If I apply some force, the poor little demon can't return to hell. With a slight snap, they have to stay in my cage for research. So that was her answer earlier. Her deepest desire is liking demons. What's wrong with heaven? How can they allow such a terrible goddess to exist unchecked? Every hair on Eli's body twitched as she forced a rare, friendly smile. Let me introduce myself. I'm Eli, which means hell because naming is too troublesome. As for why I'm here in the human world, Eli closed her eyes, seemingly finding the explanation bothersome. We need to start with the laws of soul judgment. Chapter 5, to slack off. As you know, the laws of soul judgment are recognized by both hell and heaven. But demons have always found loopholes, tempting humans to sign contracts to steal their souls. Because it didn't happen often, the Lord of Hell didn't pay much attention. But recently, a big incident occurred. Demons in different regions suddenly organized themselves, disguising as multinational businessmen. They camouflaged soul contracts as recruitment documents, tricking many people and causing a large number of innocent, unjudged souls to enter hell. With such a major event, how could the higher-ups in both hell and heaven not react? Something's not right. There must be traitors on both sides, which is why I came to investigate. As for why I tried to drive you away, you deserved it. You acted like a naive airhead, unlike a normal goddess. I didn't know if you were a traitor and couldn't be bothered to figure it out, so I decided on expelling you for good. On first thought, this incident has greatly increased the number of souls hell has acquired, strengthening its power. It seems beneficial to hell. However, if this continues, it will disrupt the long-standing balance between hell and heaven. When the power balance is broken, a great war will surely break out. If war breaks out, then we'd have to work seriously and can't slack off anymore. Even if you look distressed, I won't change my mind. No one can stop me from lying flat. Drop the act, goddess, and stop touching my tail already. Eli's testimony. Recorded by Moon. Chapter 6, Unexpected One. Excuse me, could I borrow your disguise spell again? To perfectly disguise themselves as humans, Moon dragged Eli to a fortune teller's house. The owner was a lady as proud as a peacock. She didn't seem to find the combination of a goddess and a demon strange, merely nodding slightly as she invited them in. Inside the fortune teller's house, sunlight streamed in, with countless amber pendulums hanging around, forming a pattern similar to a magic array. The array needed some time to take effect. Eli lazily sprawled among a pile of cushions, feeling bored. "Who's that woman? Are you too close?" According to Moon, the house owner was once a messenger from heaven named Feather. During a mission, she accidentally encountered her family from her previous life. Afterward, to avoid forgetting her family again, she had been hiding in the human world without returning. "She doesn't look like a messenger at all." Eli poked her head out from the cushions. "But don't messengers have their memories wiped when they reach heaven? Can they be recovered? And where's her family?" "Eli, you're really good at having a conversation," Moon said, covering Eli's mouth. But the next moment, the amber pendulums around them suddenly began to sway, emitting a gentle glow as if alive. As they fell, all the symbols of goddess and demon on the two were concealed. Moon and Eli sincerely expressed their gratitude, but Feather, standing by the window, didn't respond. Long after the two had left, she pressed her hand to her heart. "Family? They're right here. Even with a disguise spell, those who want to recognize you will always recognize you. Angels may impose forgetfulness again and again, but some things are never truly forgotten. What should I do? I haven't found a job for months. If I can't pay the rent, the landlord will kick me out." After leaving the fortune teller's house, the two arrived near the crime scene Eli had investigated earlier, pretending to be unemployed. Sure enough, Moon's slightly exaggerated acting soon attracted several demons disguised as humans. They claimed to be employees of a multinational company with many high-paying positions available. Enthusiastically inviting the two to discuss at their company, the company was hidden in a luxurious villa. Upon entering, they immediately discovered that not only were there demons, but also quite a few messengers. The recruitment documents were indeed covered with soul contracts, clearly indicating a serious collusion between heaven and hell. Faced with this situation, Eli remained calm. She slipped a few recruitment documents into her gloves and mouthed silently, "We've got the evidence. Let's arrest these few and close the investigation. Leave the rest for heaven and hell to send others to investigate." Moon shook her head, gesturing with her eyes towards the depths of the villa, indicating that they shouldn't miss this opportunity and should try to capture the mastermind. "Fine." Eli couldn't be bothered to argue and allowed Moon to pull her forward. They hadn't gone far when they saw several messengers and demons enter a room together. When they came out, the contracts they had been holding were gone. After they left, Moon and Eli crept along the wall, peering through the door crack. They first saw a pair of shiny leather shoes, then a neat tailcoat, and finally a familiar, kind face. It was the old gentleman who had been thrown out of the judgment court. Moon covered her mouth in surprise. Chapter 7: The Misjudged. Distinguished guests have arrived. My apologies for the poor reception. Please, come in. The old gentleman raised his hand slightly, and the door in front of them instantly opened. The demons who should have left earlier also surrounded them from both sides of the corridor. With nowhere to retreat, Moon and Eli had no choice but to enter. No need to be nervous. You helped me outside the judgment court, and I have no intention of making things difficult for you, the old gentleman said, adjusting his gloves with a gentle tone. How about this? Why don't you pretend you didn't see anything? The angels don't care, so why should you meddle? Although it was phrased as a question, the two clearly had no room to refuse. Eli secretly tugged at Moon's sleeve. Just agree. We can't leave otherwise. But Moon didn't nod. Instead, she asked to tell a story she had recently heard. The old gentleman looked at her impassively, neither agreeing nor disagreeing. Long ago, a poor mother stole bread to feed her child but taught the child that stealing was
away for a
wrong.
second, his beard
When
got
the
away from
child
me.
grew up, he repaid the cost of the bread and became a well-known philanthropist, eagerly helping others. However, when they died, according to the rules, the child's soul could ascend to heaven, but the mother's soul had to fall into hell. The child begged to take his mother's punishment, or at least accompany her to hell, but there was no such option in the rules. His request was denied, and even after becoming a messenger, he still harbored resentment. As Moon narrated, the old gentleman's expression changed. He tightly gripped the photo of him and his mother in his pocket watch, becoming agitated as the secret in his heart was suddenly exposed. Moon seized the opportunity to speak again. Your concerns aren't being ignored, at least I care. I know many messengers are dissatisfied with the rules for judging good and evil. And souls have no autonomy beyond being judged. I've been investigating and trying to find solutions. I don't think we've reached a point where we can't communicate. There's no need for such drastic actions. Communicate? How many times have we communicated? How many times have I been thrown out of the judgment court? Isn't that enough? The old gentleman interrupted Moon, his tone becoming increasingly agitated. Countless gold coins formed a whirlwind around him, destroying everything within a 1-meter radius. Ha ha ha, you were born in heaven. How could you understand human emotions? You, all of you, only know how to judge from on high, cold and without mercy. I don't need your pity. Moon summoned her scythe, breaking through the coin barrier in a few moves, trying to calm him down. But he suddenly pulled out a stack of contracts to shield himself, threatening Moon not to come closer. Moon, I know I'm no match for you, but if you move one more step, I'll tear up these contracts and destroy all the souls inside. A gold coin pierced Moon's shoulder, and countless more came flying at her. The scythe slipped from her hand, and blood dripped to the ground. Moon felt her consciousness becoming increasingly blurry, but for the sake of those souls, she couldn't fight back. Chapter 8 later. Then destroy them all. Eli's voice echoed in the room, carrying a bone-chilling coldness. The contracts in the old gentleman's hands burst into flames. He hurriedly let go to avoid being burned, but the next second, a whip lashed out, crackling with lightning, sending him flying into the wall. The flames formed a heart-shaped circle, protecting Moon and warmly healing her wounds. Seeing Moon slowly recover, Eli finally relaxed, returning to her usual lazy demeanor. Ahem. I thought you'd just deal with it quickly. Did I really have to step in? So tiring and troublesome. I was just trying to scare you, but did you really? Destroy all those souls? The old gentleman's face showed fear. How dare you? That's right. Eli released her aura, approaching with a cold smile, satisfied to see the other trembling in fear before dropping the intimidation. I'm kidding. Once they signed the contracts, their souls belonged to hell. I'm one of the 7 demon lords of sin, Sloth. I have plenty of ways to bypass the rules and protect them. What's burnt was just some paper, don't worry. Outside, the rebellious messengers had already been defeated and tied up by the demons who had switched sides. As soon as the demons saw Eli appear, they all immediately fell down. It's a demon lord. Can't win. Better play dead. Moon carefully packaged the entire villa along with everyone inside and teleported it to heaven before returning to Eli's side. If you're this powerful, why did you only use pranks to try to drive me away earlier, and why didn't you resist when I caught you? Because it's troublesome, Eli answered matter-of-factly. There are some other reasons too, but I'm too lazy to explain. Since the matter is resolved, I'll head back to rest. We can talk about the rest tomorrow. With that, Eli tried to sneak away while Moon wasn't looking, but Moon blocked her path again, taking a dragonfly ornament from her skirt and offering it to Eli. Eli knows a lot about dragonfly habits, but perhaps has some misconceptions about their will. Moon gently opened the dragonfly's wings, showing its beauty to Eli. Earlier, you said dragonflies can only fly for a small part of their lives, but I think as long as they live in the moment and make every moment of life fulfilling, it's not pitiful at all. That's too positive, it's kind of gross. Eli poked at it, but unexpectedly, the dragonfly suddenly grew larger, opening its wings and carrying her up into the sky. Behind her came Moon's cheerful voice. Eli is indeed a good demon, voluntarily accepting the token and willing to go to the judgment court as Hell's representative to report. I didn't even take it. This goddess really is problematic. She must be black inside if you cut her open. Eli looked at the approaching judgment court and gave up struggling. The doors of the judgment court were wide open, solemn inside and out. The angel judges, unlike their usual casual demeanor, were all standing formally and silently, as if waiting for something, and had been waiting for a long time. Moon presented the investigation results, explaining the course of events in detail, with Eli testifying from the side. The angel judges listened quietly, exchanged a few words among themselves, and then indicated that Moon could step back. But Moon hesitated for a moment, before stepping forward instead, stating that the root of the incident was the vague rules for judging whether souls were good or evil, so the rules should be redefined. We are already aware of the situation. This time, some messengers made mistakes, and punishing them should suffice. It's not worth changing long-standing rules for this. Unless, the chief angel interlaced her fingers, looking intently at Moon. You give us a reason convincing enough. No need to rush, think carefully. See Chapter 9, Many Tomorrows. I admit that the main culprits in this incident committed serious crimes, but everyone overlooked their initial wish. What's wrong with a child wanting to see his mother? If we had addressed his request from the beginning, all this might not have happened. A mother stole bread to feed her starving child, yet condemned her own act of theft. What's wrong with her wish for her child to survive? Even if it was wrong, was it so wrong that she must fall into hell and never be redeemed? Moreover, they are not isolated cases. Please question those accomplices one by one, and you'll hear many similar stories. So, the greatest fault in this matter lies with you, the angel judges, with us, all those in power in heaven. Human emotions are very complex, and the bonds between people are powerful enough to revive erased memories. This is a force that surpasses angels. If we don't solve this from the root, similar incidents will happen again and again. They will learn from their failures and eventually cause irreparable consequences. How to solve it? Yes, of course I have a proposal ready. We can adopt a point system, examining each soul's entire life, assigning positive points for good deeds and negative points for bad deeds, then calculating the total. Those with a positive total can theoretically ascend to heaven, but they should also be allowed to freely choose their destination. Those with a negative total will be sent to hell, but they should be allowed to earn new points through work for self-redemption. These are just some of my thoughts, and they may still be quite immature. Moon's testimony. They agreed. They really agreed? After leaving the judgment court, Moon still couldn't quite believe it. Only after Eli repeatedly confirmed that the angel judges had indeed allowed her to organize a trial of the new system did she become happy. But I didn't expect you, Eli, to voluntarily request to continue as Hell's representative to assist me. I thought you wouldn't bother with such troublesome matters. It's a bit troublesome, but it's a one-time effort for long-term ease. Eli started counting on her fingers. Think about it. If all those guilty souls earn points and ascend to heaven, the number of souls in hell will decrease, making management work easier, and it'll be even better for slacking off. You're still young, don't always think about slacking off. Moon shook her head helplessly. So where should we start? At least let's start tomorrow, and take a break today. Eli pulled over a cloud, casually bundled it into a pillow, and laid down on the spot, once again refusing to get up. All right, we'll start tomorrow then, Moon smiled slightly, giving an answer that surprised Eli. But the next second, Moon spoke again. After all, we have countless tomorrows. Her words were still gentle, but they left Eli frozen on the spot, silently whining and wishing to return to hell.
Okay, that was the story. That was the rest. That was the rest of... I'm going to tell you how I got to a text-to-speech for that. I read part of it on Jack's Tiny Glade stream, and I was like, I don't know if this one's really worth finishing. I keep saying that, like, if one of them's boring, I'll just skip it. So I have like a free text-to-speech plugin thing that I think is meant for people who have trouble seeing their screen and stuff like that. But I use it to help me read stuff sometimes because, like, attention-wise, I struggle. So I threw it in that just to be like, okay, read it to me and tell me if this is worth doing. And then I was like, fuck, that's pretty good. And I was like, well, okay, I'll take this week off. Last week, I think I took last week off. I truly don't remember, because of sick. And I was like, well, you know, maybe I'll feel a little better next week and I'll read it. And I still feel throat is still gross. But I still had that audio of the robot. The text-to-speech voice reading it. So there we go. Now we know what happened. That's the story. It went really good for everyone. The bad news is they're now running 2 events. And I'm not reading that shit right. I'm not using that today. We got story today. We got mind realm today. We got cards today. That's enough for us. That's just fine. We'll go with that. So let me boot up this dang game and we'll see where we're at. This is my beautiful drawing. Yeah, that was, I think, one of the most Yuri so far. There have been some pretty Yuri ones, but that one had, like, head in lap, ominous threats to ruin her tail. Madalonia, good news. This is on a stream, so it's already saved. I'll screenshot it though if that's let's do a quick little screenshot. Badoop. Okay. All right. Switch over to this window. Pop into here. Hell yeah. I feel like the game might be a bit loud, but let me know. Okay. So, the new event is Baija Splendor, or Dawning Wisdom with the outfit Baija Splendor and Leafy Reverie. But there is also, I think, I don't know what that is. I don't know. Okay. All right. Okay. There's also a return Moonlight Banquet. Which I don't know what the deal is with this one. I don't know. We'll see. It's still early. And then there's Fish Larry, and I don't know what his deal is. I don't know what this is about. And then this one I'm excited about because there is someone caught it. Crybaby baby caught it. Come on. I want this Roy. Look at this demon Roy. And he's like, he's got head and lap. He's head and lap demon Roy. I gotta know what the deal is with that. I'm very curious. Okay, okay, they're doing this. Event encore, I don't know why you're making me look at this. I know it's there. The events going on now are weird. They got one of those ones where the... Why is this not letting me click? They got one of those ones now where the there's like an animal that wants to buy things from you. So you buy the things and then sell them at a profit. They got this one going on where you just pop some balloons and then you win this outfit, which I don't love. This is the one you get for selling the eggs to the weird little dolls. I don't love it, but the hair is nice. The hair is fun. It's being weird today, click-wise. Clicks are being weird. Shiny Journey, I don't... oh yeah, this isn't... They're not selling the outfit here. This is like... you get this puffy chair and then a rabbit to hold. And I guess this suitcase? The clothing is separate. It's from something else. That is a fun looking sweater though. Oh my god, that looks cozy. Tap handheld bunny traveler to trigger its exclusive interaction. Other fashions unseen are for display only. Fair enough. Alright. Let's just... let's warm up with a boy. I have a mini boy here. God, what if these... I got this. There's no story associated with this, which I'm very sad about. This is Dance Together Gerald. He's just here and he's just like this. No story, just around. Let's see here. Yes, I finished Larry's outfit from his story.
Made for you, Miss Detective. Want to have a try?
I don't think we saw... Yeah, we didn't... Okay, we haven't done perfect whatever the fuck Larry.
This is the copy
Perfect
specially
quiet
made
Larry.
for you, Miss
So we'll
Detective.
start with that. Let's start with that. The shorty. When Larry pushed the door into the cafe, he heard an unfamiliar crisp sound. He paused for a moment in the doorway and saw the new little wind chimes mounted on the door. It was probably brought back by the store manager from his trip. The store manager greeted him as usual and asked him if he wanted to try the new coffee. Larry politely declined. The store manager looked slightly surprised. He took off an apron from a shelf and walked towards the bar. The store manager smiled clearly and said that he had something to go out. He entrusted the store to Larry. That's not great. Before leaving, though, he didn't forget to tease Larry about how rare it was for him to actively help out. Rarely seen, I may invite others to have a coffee together a lot, but to make one myself, not so many. What? Why? Why would you leave him in charge of the store if he doesn't do this? Hopefully I can get something in return. Ugh. Not many people come to the cafe at night. The chimes rang again. Larry raised his eyes and checked. Sure enough, it was who he had been waiting for. Larry got a good look at YN, who happened to stop at the door for a moment just like he did earlier. She was clearly specially dressed. The gold on her skirt looked like a tossing star under the warm light. Starry sky. Is she dressed up according to what was mentioned in the call? Obviously, it was just an excuse to improve our relationship. After thinking that he had asked someone out with more or less an ill intent, the guilt in his heart became more and more obvious when he was lined by the girl's sincere intentions.
This is the coffee specially made for you, Miss Detective. Want to have a try?
No. Larry smiled at the girl and used his usual relaxed and pleasing tone. It was as if he was trying to get rid of the guilt rising up from his chest. I don't like this guy. Larry easily led the topic to Ashley in just about a few words and was vaguely afraid of what may happen. Is this too sudden for her? But YN didn't seem to mind at all. He was now relieved. He then calmly poked around openly for the information he was seeking. When is this happening? It was only when he made a request to meet Ashley that he got an unexpected reply. She will never have time. Oh, right. This is like a flashback to like forever ago. To like when he first, right after we first met him, I guess. I remember that she will never have time line is really, really brutal.
Hey, won't you give it a thought, Miss Detective?
Oh yeah, all the cards with the little mini stories are always from the person's perspective, which is interesting, but...
I may help if she runs into difficulties.
Oh boy. Of all the moments to flash back to, the girl's sudden cold tone made Larry wonder if she'd seen through him, instead of asking why he chose to lead the conversation in another direction. It's not like that. My sister is gone. I went to Strasbourg to investigate her death. Larry was a little stunned for a bit and then reluctantly squeezed out a few words of comfort. Upon seeing the girl's eyebrows gradually lowering, guilt and uneasiness surged up in his heart. Luckily, this situation didn't last long at all. You can't trick me into liking Larry by making his whole thing about how he feels bad. He shouldn't be doing this stuff. I've decided to take over her agency for now. Although I can't be as perfect as Ashley and I still have my dreams. He sensed that the girl in front of him was just a bit down rather than depressed. Oh, okay. I'm just a bit down from my dead sister. She didn't even need comfort from others, as she cheered herself up. Larry breathed a sigh of relief. Well, that's not a thing to be relieved about. I want to stay here a little longer. If you want to leave first, then...
I shall take my leave then.
Wow, okay. I was expecting him to, like, want to hang around, but him just being like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Larry got her message. After leaving her the things he gathered about Ashley, he got up and prepared to leave. News media reports, thank you letters from those involved, and even an interview with a fashion magazine. Various paper materials filled the table, and you could tell it was all about the lost life of a deceased. He quietly gazed at YN for a while. She seemed to be deep in thought about the information on the table. What could you be thinking about? He couldn't help but speculate, but had no clue. Much like when he didn't think she would inherit the agency and become a detective. This is kind of a pointless POV, to be honest with you. Larry shook his head slightly and headed towards the door. Okay. It is very funny because the way he acts is very like... He acts very open and involved, but his internal monologue of like, ooh, I gotta get out of here. She seems fine. She doesn't need help. I'm gonna go. Knowing that YN wanted to be alone for a while, Larry went away. Unexpectedly, he ran into the store manager at the doorway, who had just returned. He stopped, as if he had suddenly thought of something. He then turned to the store manager. He asked the manager to bring her another cup of coffee when the time was right, and he would pay for it. Wow, what a gesture, thank you. He gently closed the door when he left, so as not to disturb the girl who was deep in her own thoughts. The wind chimes vibrated only a tiny bit. Larry walked alone on the way back. Yeah, a warrior queen. I was also thinking that. It's already late, and she's thinking about stuff, and you're like, yeah, get her more coffee. That'll definitely help stuff. There was no sign of anyone on the streets at this time of night. Only a few street lamps were quietly lit. The light was intertwined with the warm yellow light from the windows of the cafe. Larry shivered slightly with cold and put his hands into his pockets. It's interesting how much of his thing is just like narration of him like just doing stuff. Not like, I don't know. He accidentally grabbed some pieces of paper, which were handwritten notes about Ashley from earlier. He thought of the dead end in this previous investigation, and how it wasn't easy to find new clues on Ashley. He was struggling with how to approach her quietly, while keeping his secret. What? Is he investigating Ashley? What's happening? A chance encounter in Strasbourg brought about a new turning point. I thought that meeting her sister would help me get some clues or connections. What the fuck is he after? I'm now very suspicious. Who would have thought that it would turn out this way? He felt a little lost for a moment. Suddenly a gust of wind came toward Larry with the coolness of the night, blowing up his loose hair. Kaboom. He couldn't help but squint his eyes. Larry laughed at himself and didn't know why he suddenly remembered the girl who was still in the cafe. Will she encounter such strong winds on her way back later as well? I don't know, probably. Hey, get back here. Larry subconsciously reached out and tried to grab those pieces of paper that were blown into the air, but saw that they were scattered like butterflies, and there was absolutely no way he could retrieve them. He froze for a moment, stopping the movement of his hands. Actually, there's no need to retrieve them. Larry came back to his senses, and he had only one paper left in his hand from what was once a large pile. The name written on that paper was YN. Larry thought of the girl's direct gaze when she questioned witnesses in Strasbourg, and suddenly realized, perhaps what I need is already within my reach. Dude, what the fuck are you after? Is it my imagination? A new turning point seems to appear every time she appears. Larry looked back at the cafe with its lights on and could faintly see the figure of YN. It seemed that she didn't have any intention of leaving just yet. Larry put away the paper, straightened up, and walked into the night with a hint of comfort and gratitude. Okay, what the fuck is going on? That was so creepy. That was the creepiest
This is the
one.
copy specially made for you, Miss Detective. Want to have a try?
Oh my god. He's like a... I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't like that. That was not good. Okay. So who else do we have here? Oh, right. I think this is new?
It's the time when the scenery is most beautiful in the day.
Or, no, this is... Right, this is a leveled up version
It's the time when the scene. I am Roy.
of
Here are my employees'
the one
card
where he
and
fell
passport
down.
for your
So
confirmation.
we've already seen this one.
It's the time when the scenery is most beautiful.
I
in
just
the-
leveled it up at some point. Okay, no problem. Oh, I also leveled up Wet Larry. That's
But I'd
fun.
much rather be there for you myself. It's late, but I'd much rather be there for you myself. And I hope you
I kept
feel the
trying to
same
get the
way.
demon tail and ended up just like with a bunch of Wet Larrys. It was kind of a bummer. Okay, Squirrel Sean.
Hey there, cutie.
We've seen Squirrel Sean.
The
We've
scenery of
seen-
victory is.
Yeah, we've seen this gothic Gerald also. Okay. So we have Sword Breeze
Fuck.
Gerald,
Come on, have a
And-
try.
Spring Day Gerald. I left the little like blink. Okay. I really gotta know about Sword Gerald says Creed Sedova. Packed in Amber, love Sword Breeze. Blink. Okay, how long are these? This one is, yeah, of course. They're gonna be about the same, I think. Can you hear me struggle every time I say it? I have to like stop and parse it.
Hello there.
Do I have? Can I just like get you up to 50? No, I can't. I cannot. Okay. Fine. Alright, let's swords.
I finally mastered the breeze swordplay.
Why is this elf?
Have a try.
Why is... This is elfish and sexy. Okay. Well, let's give it a shot. Oh, this is all... There's no fashion in this whatsoever. This is all story. Master Gu rose to fame after defeating 18 strongholds and founding the Breeze Villa. Why did it start with a thump like that? Banditry around has ceased to exist, and the Breeze swordplay was heralded as best ever. Breeze swordplay has been passed to Gerald, the third generation leader of the villa. Throughout the decades, countless had attempted to challenge him, only to be defeated and forced to retreat. Just as the storyteller was about to conclude the narration, a sudden snap sound echoed from the table in the corner. As everyone in the liquor house turned their heads, the table was empty, leaving only a shattered tea light and a broken silver ingot. What the fuck are you talking about? A broken silver ingot? Like a bar of silver? How do you break that? Breeze Villa. Me. Why am I thinking this? It's beautiful. Beautiful background. I gazed at the imposing plaque before me, silently reading the villa's name. Yep. Okay. I can't. I'm sorry. I knocked on the door and a boy opened it. Who are you? I want to see the villa owner. I handed over the letter of invitation, but the boy merely glanced at it and threw it back. My master does not duel with nameless individuals. With that, the boy slammed the door shut. I picked up the mudded letter, wiped up the mess, and put it in my pocket, my mind clear and steady as always. Things like this had happened to me more than enough along my journey. However, in the end, I always persuaded them to accept my invitation using my sword. My name is YN, a novice swordsman. My goal was to defeat the Breeze swordplay with the Gale swordplay. It was my master's dying wish. My master narrowly lost to the Breeze swordplay after a 3-day fight and became the laughingstock of all. After over 30 years of sword practice, he created the Gale swordplay and taught it to me. He expected me to beat the Breeze swordplay with the Gale swordplay and let the world know. The Gale swordplay was the best. I glanced up at the towering wall before me and slowly retreated into the dense forest behind. The sky darkened and the Breeze Villa remained silent. I scaled the wall and entered the garden. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, break and enter. The moonlight cascaded like water, illuminating a field of flowers with tree shadows interweaving. In the moon glow, I hurriedly advanced, rolling and evading until I entered an exquisitely adorned house. As soon as my feet touched the ground, voices emanated from the darkness. Erratic breaths, unsteady footsteps, pleasing postures, but regrettably too ostentatious. In the darkness, a gust of wind blew open the window, and the moonlight poured in upon that person. Seated in front of a screen, he held a long sword with the moonlight caressing his lowered eyes. A solemn and noble aura emanated from his being, causing me to take a step back and draw the sword in my hand. Oh, I wanted voice lines for this. I hate when they don't do voice lines. A slight delay in drawing, a sharp withdrawal, but the angle is wrong. The wrong angle leaves you vulnerable to attack, if... Without waiting for the rest of his analysis, I lightly shifted my footing and pointed my sword at him. I gave my best in this strike. Missing the first opportunity would lead to unimaginable consequences. With a graceful twist, the moonlit sword plunged straight towards his feet. He swiftly turned and blocked with his sword, exposing an opening, which I promptly seized to advance. I was about to stab him in the back when a silver gleam flashed, knocking my sword away. Wireframe Wife says, do you think you still like ice cream? I do think you still like ice cream. Young Master. It was the boy who had opened the door for me. Young Master? He is Gerald, the current leader of Breezevilla? Raising my lips, I walked towards the window for my sword. I walked towards the window for my sword and rubbed my numbed hand. Raising my lips. The Breeze swordplay isn't all it's cracked up to be. Gerald raised his head, his eyes filled with despair. Aw, I can't use the Breeze swordplay. Oh. The moonlight, like water, vanished from his eyes. That doesn't make sense. Oh, that's sick. He doesn't know his own swordplay. What? You can't use the Breeze swordplay? I almost jumped up. The leader of the Breezevilla can't use the Breeze swordplay? It was widely believed that the current leader, Gerald, was a master of the Breeze swordplay with unpredictable moves. Yet, he claimed he didn't know how to use it. Then how did you defeat those challengers? I just pointed out the flaws in their swordplay and they left on their own. That's very funny. Oh, that's smart and funny. I love that. His serious expression was indeed quite intimidating. Some persisted, but they gave up after exchanging strikes with Reno. So the boy's name was Reno. I sighed, feeling somewhat rueful. Is there anyone else who mastered the Breeze swordplay? Gerald shook his head. Oops, fuck, I clicked. Wait. I was overcome with a sense of despair right away. How could I fulfill my master's last wish if you can't use the Breeze swordplay? My master adopted me when I was an orphan and taught me martial arts. Now that he has passed away, if I can't even fulfill his last wish... Listen, I think your master would probably be pretty happy that Breeze swordplay seems to have died off. Thinking of this, I jumped to Gerald. Didn't your father pass it on to you? Don't you want to learn it? My father never mastered the Breeze swordplay either. Oh my god. What's that? The moves of the Breeze swordplay passed down were merely the outer forms. To truly master it, one must understand its meaning. Otherwise, it's just a superficial display of skill. Oh, okay. This is like a philosophical thing. I see. My father failed to comprehend, and in the past decade, I inherited the villa and studied countless books. I even analyzed every move and calculated the optimal angles and speeds, but still, I couldn't comprehend it. I took a deep breath, realizing the absurdity of the situation. This explained his strange comments just now. Miss, please keep it a secret, otherwise our villa will be in grave danger. Reno looks too sincere. Of course, I won't tell anyone. But sooner or later, someone else will find out about this, right? Gerald lowered his head and Reno's tears began to flow. A sudden realization struck me. Oh my god. I'll help you comprehend the Breeze swordplay. Once you get it, you'll fight me with it. How about that? This is so sad. Right. So I left the Breeze Villa with Gerald. Oh boy. Okay. Oh. This is a different look. That's not how you look in the card. Will it work? Think about your grandfather who created the breeze swordplay in face of hundreds of bandits alone. Obviously, the first step is to put yourself into extremity. I'm going to find a den of thieves and bandits and throw you in. But I'm afraid that it is difficult to find such a place near the Breeze Villa. He was right. Oh, we're in the illegal logging forest. Ever since the 18 strongholds were eradicated, no bandit could be seen. As we passed through the neighboring villages, peaceful and contented villagers greeted us with warm smiles. However, one woman caught our attention. She stood with her head hung low, shame evident on her face. Are you from the Breeze Villa? Could you help me find my missing child? My mind was all about the Breeze swordplay, and I knew a missing child is nothing we should care about now. Yikes, harsh. But what I said in response was, what happened to your child? Chase has been venturing out in the mountains in the west and claimed to discover bandits with peculiar movements. I warned him to stay away, but he went out yesterday and hasn't returned since. I fear he may have been taken by the bandits. The woman sobbed as she spoke. I turned to Gerald, a glimmer of hope in my eyes. It seems that finding a den of bandits nearby might not be as difficult as we thought. After all, it has been decades since Master Gu's battle. The fear from that time will eventually fade away. Gerald's brows furrowed, as he knew that if he failed to comprehend the Breeze swordplay, the peace of the Breeze Villa and the surrounding villages would eventually be shattered. Let's go. Under the cover of night, we hurried towards the mountains and finally discovered the bandits in a valley. Dressed in black, they were gathered around a bonfire, engaging in some sort of discussion. Not far from them, a few horses were tied to a stump, and a child was bound nearby. That must be Chase. We'll rush in together. You handle the robbers, and I'll save Chase. Right. This is a perfect opportunity for you to unlock the Breeze swordplay. Make the most of it. Right. Without further ado, Gerald took the lead and charged into the fray. This is going to go bad. I swiftly moved towards Chase, cut the ropes, and carried Chase away without looking back. The cold wind howled under the moonlight as the clash of swords and the scent of blood filled the valley. Hidden behind a tree, my heart raced as I watched the intense melee unfold. Gerald was already drenched in blood, his sword swings growing sluggish. The bandits continued to multiply, and it seemed as though the deadly blows would soon fall upon him. He had yet to unlock the Breeze swordplay. Okay, so he's like a competent fighter at least. He just doesn't have like the magic secret. Exclamation point. Whoa! Swordlight flashed as I darted into the chaos. Gerald and the bandits tumbled to the ground together. I grabbed Gerald and Chase, swiftly retreating back to the village. Chase and his mother expressed their gratitude, with Chase even tugging on my hem and declaring loudly, I want to join the Breeze Villa and become a warrior like you. Gerald's eyes darkened, his silence speaking volumes. He knew all too well that he couldn't even consider himself a warrior now, let alone protect the village. You killed like a bunch of guys. That's fine. I, too, felt a sense of unease. Being in a desperate situation isn't a must for unlocking the Breeze swordplay. Then what is it exactly? Is something troubling you? Chase asked curiously, noticing our furrowed brows. Well, we have some problems that we can't seem to understand. Problems you can't figure out? Then go ask Mr. Unspeakable. Okay, Mr. Unspeakable. A sudden recollection flashed through my mind. I had heard that name before. Mr. Unspeakable, the knower of the unspoken. Oh my god. He was hailed as the world's greatest genius, someone who knew everything and shared everything he knew. Perhaps he held the key to understanding the Breeze swordplay. Gerald and I traveled through several cities, searching tirelessly until we found him in a tavern. Do you mean a liquor house? Upon hearing our intentions, Mr. Unspeakable burst into laughter, almost on the verge of tears. To unlock the Breeze swordplay? But there is no such swordplay at all. Ah ha 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 ha. What did you say? Gerald and I stood frozen in disbelief. I'm telling you, you two little fools, you've been deceived by old Goo. You're making things up. Gerald's eyes turned red as he slammed on the table, shattering the bowl. Blood seeped from between his fists. If the Breeze swordplay doesn't exist, how could Master Goo defeat the 18 strongholds and build Breeze Villa? It's a long story. 30 years ago, the world was settling down, but the area around Breeze Villa remained in turmoil. Bandits there were known as the 18 strongholds. None of them were willing to submit to anyone. Goo, young head of the 13th village, grew tired of it. He persuaded all to exit from the public views and establish the Breeze Villa. These bandits were originally villagers who, due to the war, had no choice but to turn to banditry. Now that peace had settled, they desire a tranquil life with their families. I don't really understand what just happened there. Okay, bandits there were known as 18 strongholds. None of them wanted to submit. He persuaded all to exit from the public views. All the bandits? And they established the Breeze Villa? Okay. So wait, they just wanted to be village? Well, then just do that. What? However, once they give up their criminal activities, they fear retaliation from their enemies. So Goo proposed to co-found the Breeze Villa. He also made up the story of the Great Battle. This allowed the bandits to cut off their past and start afresh, while also effectively deterred outsiders. Oh, okay, so it's like outside people would believe this was real because all the bandits were gone, but the bandits were all just like, hey, we just want to settle down, and everyone else, we don't want people coming here to fuck with us. No one questioned the veracity of this claim? The martial world was still recovering from the war, and there weren't many great fighters left. Sects were preoccupied with their own healing. There were occasional challenges, but they were swiftly dealt with by the leaders of the strongholds. Thus, the legend of the Breeze swordplay spread far and wide. But lies cannot be concealed forever. Talented individuals will keep challenging the Breeze Villa. So what happened to her master, who got his ass kicked? Young man, you need to be prepared. Mr. Unspeakable patted Gerald's shoulder and left with his wine jug, leaving Gerald standing there in silence. Okay. Ooh, beautiful. On the way back to the Breeze Villa, Gerald kept his head down and remained silent. Gerald, look at this. I approached him and held out my clenched fist. What? Open it and take a look. Open my clenched fist and take a look inside. Gerald didn't seem particularly interested, but he still opened my fist as I instructed. This is weird. 2 blue dragonflies unfurled their wings from between my fingers, and Gerald's gaze fixed on them. I caught them in the woods. Aren't they cute? Yeah. You are reluctant. Whoa! Oh my god, is that our face? This is the first time we've seen a face, I think. Very framey animation. Oh my god, that's an actual... Normally, like, her face would be just, like, a little bit out of view, or, like, there'd be, like, her hair over it, or it'd be, like, kind of smudgy. I sat down next to him, and the dragonflies didn't immediately fly away. Instead, they hovered beside us. That kind of doesn't look like Gerald, though. One even landed on Gerald's fingertips, gently fluttering its wings. It really likes you. Are they? What? Gerald, do you know how long can dragonflies live? Okay, what is this? We learned this from the event. One of the writers on this game. Dragonfly larvae can live for half a year to over a year. The adults can live till 1 to 8 months, quite long for an insect. Well, another question for you. I blew on the dragonfly, which shook in the air current. It struggled to stir its wings before stabilizing. Why do you do that? That's mean. Do you think they're weak? These people are fucking obsessed with dragonflies. If you're in the insect world, dragonflies are considered top predators. They fly dozens of miles every hour, and their hunting success rate is as high as 90%. Their wing structure... Oh, he's a nerd. My face started to darken, and Gerald cleared his throat a bit awkwardly. However, if you compare dragonflies to humans, they are indeed considered quite weak. I acknowledged with a gentle, somber tone. But this fragile, short-lived dragonfly can still cross mountains from one end of the sea to the other. It doesn't matter if you don't have a strong body or a hard shell. So why does it matter that much if you don't master the breeze swordplay, which doesn't exist, apparently? Your grandfather founded the Breeze Villa without it and protected the people within miles. Gerald looked at me, his despondent look in the eyes gradually giving way to a faint glimmer of light. The one who should be most depressed is my master. Well, he's dead, so... He's lived under the shadow of the breeze swordplay his whole life, with the lifelong dream of defeating it. If he's told it never existed... Wait, I guess he's still alive, but wanted her to beat him before he died? He lost to just an ordinary swordplay and an ordinary bandit. He would roll over in his grave. Okay, no, he is dead. Alright. Gerald couldn't help but smile. Thank you, YN. As we resumed our journey, Gerald's pace was much lighter, and the frown etched in his face finally eased. YN, maybe if I don't cling to the breeze swordplay and become strong enough, I can still... Oops, fuck, I double-clicked again. A familiar scent reached us, the unmistakable smell of blood. Wait, that's not what I clicked past. Gerald's words trailed off. Okay, gotcha. Ooh. As we neared the village under the Breeze Villa, the eerie silence struck us. No human voices, no birdsong, no dogs barking. Only the strong metallic tang in the air, and the complete lack of cooking smoke. We rushed only to find bodies strewn, the ground soaked in blood. Even the river dyed crimson. Oh my god! Gerald's face paled, his eyes churning with emotion, and his hands trembled uncontrollably. Just then, a faint cry reached our ears from a nearby wooden house. We hurried over to find Chase. Hey, so he's not a sword master, but she is, right? And she thinks her sword stuff is better than his? Why don't you do it? You fix this. You fight them. Chase lay on the ground, his face down and his eyes bloodshot. Oh my god. He's clutching a piece of cloth, his voice hoarse. Don't hurt my mom. Oh my god. Behind him, his mom died already. Ah, a gaping hole in her chest staring lifelessly at us, blood still gurgling. Jesus Christ. This game. Fucking unbelievable. Chase, what happened? Chase heard my voice and wiped a handful of blood from his eyes. The men in black, they're back. They're heading for the villa. Villa? Not Reno. Reno's there. Reno's in the villa. After getting Chase settled, Gerald and I immediately rushed towards the villa. The sight that greeted us was no less grim than the village below. At the entrance to the villa, there were almost no survivors, and on the ground were the bodies of the guards, as well as those of black-clothed figures. That clothing style was all too familiar. The bandits we'd encountered in the mountains were wearing the same clothings. Have they been planning to attack the Breeze Villa since then? Of course. Could it be? Gerald lowered his head, eyes dark and full of remorse. It seems he's reached the same conclusion. They must have captured Chase to see if Gerald knew the Breeze swordplay, and we helped them figure it out. What? I don't know if that's the case. Then they attacked the villa after we left. But how did they know the one they fought was the leader of the Breeze Villa? I hurried towards the villa's main hall. A growing sense of unease enveloped me. There, on the leader's seat, sat an old man. The man was in his 70s, his face lined with wrinkles but bearing a cold smile. But is this going to be the grandfather? Beneath his feet lay Reno, covered in blood and struggling to breathe. Oh my god. The old man raised his withered hand and beckoned me, his voice raspy and grating. Oh, it's her. Wait, is it her master? Good disciple, come over quickly. A sword suddenly clattered to the ground behind me. I turned to see Gerald standing in the doorway, expression unreadable. Master? What the hell is going on here? 50 years ago, I merely killed a few children. Oh, okay. 50 years ago, I merely killed a few children, and Goo drove me out of the 18 strongholds. I merely killed a few children. That uptight prick. When I went back for revenge, he had already destroyed the 18 strongholds and founded the Breeze Villa. So wait, he was like the one bandit who was an asshole and didn't want to just settle down and have a family? So they got rid of him, and all the others were like, yeah, we're good. We'll just be nice. We'll be nice people now. The Breeze swordplay was so famous that I didn't dare risk my life until I met you. But you knew it was fake, didn't you? Like, you would have known that guy and known, like, he's not a fucking swordplay guy. He's just a mayor. I killed your parents. Oh my god. He killed my parents? Whoa. I didn't dare risk my life until I met you. I killed your parents, adopted you, and taught you martial arts. Okay, so I'm like the first kid he decided to adopt instead of kill. Gotcha. So that you could come here to test it for me. If you win, it's good, but if you lose, I can also see the flaws in the Breeze swordplay. But I didn't expect there is no such thing as the Breeze swordplay, and the Breeze Villa is so vulnerable. You! With a surge of adrenaline, I charged towards him with my sword, but my hand holding the sword was trembling. Humph, just by you? The old man's sword flew effortlessly. While my strikes were exhausted, he had another strike. The cold blade pointed at my throat. I could taste the metallic blood in my mouth as it filled my chest. This swordplay has 74 strikes, and I kept the last just in case of a day like this. You deserve to die for betraying your master. Heh. Am I already hit and bleeding, or not? A sword flash flew, and the old man retreated. Gerald pursued relentlessly, not giving him a moment to catch his breath. However, he didn't know the Breeze swordplay at all, so how could he match my master? Soon he was defeated. The icy blade whistled and came at me again. I closed my eyes. But the imagined agony never came. I opened my eyes. The sword pierced into my master's heart at an incredible angle. And behind him stood Gerald, covered in blood, and could barely... What? And behind him stood Gerald, covered in blood and could barely move moments ago. YN,
I finally mastered the breeze swordplay.
Thank you for voicing that one line. It's not real, though. Like, we know it's not real, bro. Later, Reno described it as swift, nimble, and dominant, like the storm and gale. It swept through the entire hall in that instant, making it impossible to avoid or hide. What? This is the breeze swordplay. What are you talking about? It's not real. It's not real. My grandfather unlocked the breeze swordplay not because he was in a desperate situation. He didn't. Oh my god.
When you have something you want to protect, even at the cost of your life, the sword in your hand comes alive.
Okay.
When you have something you want to protect, even at the cost of your life, the sword in your hand comes alive.
You just said that. You said the same line again. Just like that. Your desire to protect the villa has awakened the sword in your hand. Congrats! Gerald lowered his head and slowly wiped the blood from the sword.
At that moment, I wanted to protect the villagers, the villa, and on top of all, I wanted to protect you.
This recording sounds weird. His nose sounds more stuffed up than usual. The voice was very soft, like the sound of the wind sweeping by. I looked up in surprise and saw him gently smiling. Evolve to unlock. I'm just gonna look it up on the wiki.
I finally mastered the breeze swordplay.
Watch this animation.
I finally mastered the breeze swordplay.
Go here, do a search. Breeze. Sword. Play. Nope, that didn't do it. Sword breeze. I'll just search for sword
I finally
breeze.
mastered the breeze swordplay.
Sword breeze. Okay. Sword breeze is an SSR sexy ally representing Gerald. It can be obtained from Ocean Slumber Light Chase. Okay. It's wild to see just SSR sexy just like there. Fuck, they don't have the thing. Oh, I forget how the wiki sucks. I need the Reddit to tell me. Reddit life makeover. Sword breeze? Come on. Sword breeze. Come on. Throw me a bone here. No one's posted it. That's a shame. We'll never know. I suspect it's gonna be like, it's real now. Let's set up a school and we'll teach the stuff. The end. I have to assume. I have to assume that's what they're... That's what they're after. All right. Oh. You changed into uniforms and went in the classroom right at the start of a class. The fox asked you secretly if you noticed anything wrong. I don't know. This is like some sort of like choose your own adventure thing that's happening that I don't understand. I just answer the question and then I get a reward. And that's okay with me. Okay. Get a little bit of this going on. A little bit of that. Okay. Let's do a little bit of story progress. And then we'll do a little bit of mind travel. And I think that'll be what a stream is. Speak from the heart. Okay, so the thing we were at here, we're at some place that I think is in China. With Larry, there is some sort of, they're doing like a thing called like the jade lamp? Or it's like a thing about a jade lamp or lantern? Or no, peony lamp. Peony lamp or lantern. And there is like an actress who got hit on the head and she's probably not dead. And there's an actor who is an asshole and he's dating this actress slash director who is like very vulnerable and people kind of seem to take advantage of her. And he like borrowed a bunch of money from her and won't give it back. And is also cheating on her with the actress who got bonked on the head. And then there's a director who just seems like another annoying guy. And we're in the process of figuring out what happened. Sound good? Okay. The missing shard. All right, the lamp is broken and it's missing a shard of the lamp, which I'm assuming will be like the clue. Suki is the nice actress lady, and Chingru is the one who got bonked. The missing shard, Suki's blood, and Chingru's powder compact. Did Suki attack Chingru? Oh, right. Also, we found Chingru had like a compact of like powder that is for like dealing with like allergic reactions, which kind of feels a bit like that whole thing in Strasbourg that happened with the allergic reactions. It might be a coincidence. It might be deliberate. I don't know. Did Suki attack Chingru?
What are you doing?
Oh boy. Suki's voice freaks me out. That's mean.
You...
Looking at the powder compact in my hand, she doesn't speak for a while.
This is not a secret anymore.
Thanks, Larry. Could you tell us the truth now?
What would you like to know?
Drugs inside Foundation makeup box? Is this Chingru's? It tested positive for allergens. We also found them in your thrown away vial. It's you who put this drug into Chingru's powder compact. Oh, was this just like a thing where like she's just trying to give her like a face rash? Or something? That makes sense.
Yes, but this is only a prank and didn't do any harm to her.
No harm at all? It's this drug that caused her disfigurement. Wait, she's disfigured.
No way! He said it was just an allergen!
He said.
The allergen will soon recover, and I just don't want her to be part of the movie.
Well, that's not a good way to go about it. Right, in the hospital she had like a really bad... Oh my god, yeah. Thank you, chat. They had said that in the hospital she ended up with a really bad rash, and like her... Is it some like gnarly shit about her face rotting? I don't think that's it. I don't think her face is rotting. I don't know. I mean, This is a game where they keep saying people are murdered and then they show up later and it's like, oh, how was your time in the hospital? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how routed her face is.
If I knew she would be disfigured, I would never. No, you must be wrong. Her disfigurement is not caused by the allergen. It couldn't be.
Suki covered her face with hands, shaking. Her voice also became lower. Who did you meet in the bamboo forest?
No, I promised not to let out his name.
Suki became silent regardless of what I said. I had to give up. Relationship with Zhou Zhuan? You've talked about Qingru with Zhou Zhuan in the bamboo forest, right? You'd be angry if he comforted her on the site. You'd get frustrated if people talked about their relationship at a restaurant. Is there anything more between you and Zhou Zhuan? Wait, so is he not? I thought they were dating. Are they not? Is he supposed to be dating Qingru? And I don't. Okay.
We just.
Is this hairpin from him? When the hero made his first money, he bought a star hairpin. I saw a falling tear in Suki's face, and then she cried with face covered by hands.
It's from him. I fell into love with him at the first sight. It has been so many years. I accept that to protect our careers, we won't come out in the open.
It seemed like such an obvious fact that it was really confusing to me that they were treating it like a secret. So I guess that makes sense.
I also accept that he is involved in scandals with others. to
Oh,
get more
boy.
exposure.
Uh-huh.
But he wanted to break up with me. Just for Qingru. I can't accept that.
He's not exactly a find, you know? So that's why you hate her?
No, I hate Qingru because of her behaviors. It has nothing to do with Zhou. I won't blame her for Zhou. He doesn't know our relationship.
Okay. Why is the lamp fragment here?
When I went for dinner, I passed by Qingru's door and found no light. But it was getting dark. I thought it was strange. So I took a look into the room. She was lying on the ground. I was freaked out and wanted to ask someone for help, but then I noticed what was on her dresser. It would be over if they had found out I had poisoned hers. So I took the compact away. I was panicking, and it was dark in the room, so I stumbled over something and fell. I didn't have any time to check it. I got up and ran to my room. Coming back, I found a shard sticking in my palm. I couldn't throw it away, so I kept it somewhere.
When I was to go back and sort out clues, I received a Mind Realm task. Go to see a rock band show? A cool and hot unisex outfit should fit well. Cool, sexy, unisex. I hate the word unisex. It's just clothes. I don't know. Okay. The awful hairstyle I don't like. A shirt I don't like. And actually that looks okay. I'm not mad at that. But that's truly the only cool, sexy, unisex clothing I have. And I have to use this bag. It's kind of cute. Okay. Can I do better than this shirt? Because I really don't like it. It's not very good. The pants are kind of fine. Ugh, 3 stars, though. Where's the shirt at? Is this also 3? Ugh, also 3 stars. That's a bummer. That's not very unisex. God, I hate this, but I think I just need to like live with it. Normal socks, maybe? Just... Or some calf-length stockings? Why not? Shoes... Good enough. I want a different hairstyle, actually. I'll live with the pants and the shirt, but I just can't live with this hairstyle. Oh. The magic mermaid hair. We'll be practical. We'll go with that. Accessories. What's a sexy concert hat? Ooh, sexy concert horns. I didn't get the tail or the whip, but I did get these, and that's okay. I can't be too mad. Some weird little hair jewels. I got this rose eye patch. This is fun. Like a little blood drop hanging from it. I'll go with the facial piercing, I think. Ooh, or the sunglasses. I like the sunglasses. That's cool. That's pretty fun. Skip hand. Got that thing. Is that too much? That might be too much. Or just enough. That's too much. Yeah, no, it's not practical for a concert at all. No, that's silly. Okay. A little bit of makeup, and then that'll be good. Start with the lipstick. Oh, right, blood mouth. I forgot about the blood mouth. I love that. I don't mind that. That's also kind of sick, actually. I'm gonna do Witch Prelude. And Millennial Dream, even though you can't really... Oh wait, no, that's that one. Never mind. With the, like, red marks? Or... Yeah, no. Okay. A little bit of that. The eyeshadow and shit doesn't really matter right now. It'd be cool... Ooh. Okay, well those... That doesn't really work. But it is very funny. Extra spooky to see the effect through the sunglasses. Very concerning. This is an extremely unnecessary step, so I'll just leave it at that. Face paint. Do I have any good new face paint? Probably not really. Oh, right, I have that little eyeball one. Look at that. Ugh. I don't think I really have anything for this look in particular. Moles, maybe? Just some nice, fun moles. Yeah, it's fine. That's a fun outfit. And we got some torn stockings. Thoughts and feelings. As soon as I have returned to my room, the director sends me the medication record of Qingru. Here it is, the propyl medicine. It is sure that Qingru's disfigurement was caused by Suki's drug and the propyl medicine. What? Okay.
We're close to the truth.
How? Do you think Suki is behind it?
She is pretty motivated, and she did take action. Maybe she thought it was nothing but a prank, so she took the risk. She attacked Qingru, who was almost disfigured under the influence of 2 drugs.
Okay, now we're saying almost. But it was too risky. She can't be sure that Qingru would take the propyl medicine. And Qingru would undoubtedly accuse her of it.
The urgency didn't allow a further murder.
What? A further murder?
Or maybe she was too flustered to think about it.
I shake my head. I know she's reasonable, but there is something wrong with the detail. The evidence we have can prove 2 speculations. Okay. Suki has been to Qingru's room after the crime took place. That seems true. Qingru found... I don't think that seems true. Suki drugged Qingru's foundation powder. This also seems true. We don't have proof that Suki assaulted Qingru. Okay. Yeah. She can account for these suspicions, and we cannot deny her story completely. Psychology believes it's hard for a murderer to simultaneously poison and attack the same subject. What are you talking about? It does not. It does not believe that. They take 2 very different personality traits.
But don't you remember that human nature is complicated and sinister? Now that she drugged Qingru, she can resort to violence.
What?
Once the ship of evil sets sail, no one knows
Wow.
where it goes.
So true. I don't deny your suspicion, but we need more evidence. Now we have found the missing fragment of the glazed lamp. If we repair the glazed lamp and examine it, maybe we can find a clue. Yes, please let me do a puzzle. Under my command, I begins to repair the lamp with the fragments. Please let me do a puzzle.
Debris scanning. The model is under construction. Please wait for a second.
No, let me do it. I want to do it. Oh, I receive another task from the mind realm while waiting, of course. Attend a simple and elegant summer ball. A ball, an evening gown would be perfect. Okay, simple, elegant gown. Let's see what we've got here. Simple, elegant gown. That's not a gown. Cute, but not a gown. That's kind of a gown. Oh, where'd that come from? Yeah, this is not a gown. Let's go with this one. And some gown socks. And some gown shoes. Some gown platforms. Yeah, fuck it. Gown platforms. And some gown hair. Yeah, that's very gown. Let's dye this, and then that might... I'm glad I have all these unlocked at least. That's helpful. It's workable. And then for the ombre, just like a slight variation on that color would be nice. Nothing too wild. Ooh, very orange. There we go. I think that might be it. Okay. And then, what are our gown accessories? Night knitter. The color of the night sky is reflected on the diamonds, as if stars are also woven in it. That's very funny. Yeah, that's not quite where that would go in any of these. I guess the closest is that default one. I do wish I could just move it to the side, though. Earrings. Cannot really see a necklace under this. Kind of no point, huh? Other than to get the points. Hand gloves. I don't like the gloves. Pass. Go with a ring. Handhelds. Violin. Sold. And a special tattoo. Okay, let's get rid of gown and we'll fill in some blanks. Oh, we don't have many blanks to fill in, I guess. Hat, maybe? Or I could get a different hair ornament. That might be the move. No, I don't think it's the move. Ooh, fun. Fuck that hair ornament then. Let's get a bracelet on, maybe. Or some random plants. Or just a ball on a ribbon that bounces around really funny. You put essential oils in that, right? That's what that's for. Any cool back stuff? Back plants? Backpack? It's a cute backpack. We're good. Seems fine. Secret anklets, maybe. All right. Just some nice, like, super forgettable lipstick, I think, is the way to go here. Something very unremarkable. I wish I had that vampire lipstick some people have. It seems fun. Whoa. Speaking of fun. All right, contacts. Oh, that's why they look like that in those sunglasses. That makes sense. Too dark. I'm gonna forego the eyeshadow. I think this is probably pretty good. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Good at makeup. The lights sway gently, my eyelids become imperceptibly heavy, and gradually I fall into the dreamland. When I woke up, I had completed the repair. Aww, I wanted to do it. How long did I sleep?
Not long. About 2 hours.
I'm so sorry, but I was too sleepy.
A reliable detective knows how to balance her work and rest. I had the analysis results in order.
Don't you want to sleep?
Don't you know that the night is a writer's best friend?
Oh man, I hate it when he's right. Last time you said it was coffee.
Coffee
Same
is
thing,
a
babe.
writer's best companion?
Okay, flashback. Weird yellow tinted flashback, alright.
Coffee, the night, all in one.
Uh-huh. I take a closer look at the result. Only Joe Schwan's fingerprints are on it. Only Joe Schwan's fingerprints are on it.
Isn't it strange? The lamp has been lent to the crew, but their fingerprints are on it.
What? Is that strange? That seems normal. Doesn't even have Ching-Ru's fingerprints. She should be the one who has the greatest exposure to the lamp based on the script. A guess pops up in my mind when I look at those fragments. Maybe no one has touched the peony lamp except for Joe Schwan. I'd like to ask for detailed information about the lamp.
Maybe you should consider covering up your dark circles before you go out?
Wow, fuck you. Maybe you should consider dying. Huh? Larry takes me to the mirror and the girl in it has 2 dark circles. Who is this haggard girl? Break your legs!
Do you need some help?
No! Oh my god! But time is limited. Oh, is
Won't
he the
take
one who's
long,
good at
I
makeup?
promise.
He's the one who's good at makeup, of course. He insists. I have to sit down in front of my dressing table and close my eyes nervously. He just wants to do my concealer? Like,
Done.
that's weird. I should say, him wanting to do my makeup is not weird. I think that is cute. But I think him being like, hey, you're ugly, look in this mirror, I'm gonna do your concealer because look at you, you look so tired and haggard. That's fucked up. After a short while, Larry announces his excellent job. I take a deep breath and open my eyes. The dark circles are perfectly covered up. I look more refreshing now. Well done, you know how to use concealer. Congrats.
I was once the Prince Charming of girls at high school.
What? Is that a thing?
I would be a beauty blogger if I weren't put off by writing.
What? You're a writer. A beauty blogger, ... Okay.
Don't mind changing to something fresh and sweet? It would go better with your makeup.
Okay. You could just be a makeup artist. I don't get him. I don't get his ass. Fresh and sweet clothes. I'm down for him being good at makeup. I'll say it again. I think a dude who can do hair and makeup is very appealing. But I don't know about all that. The context means a lot, you know? Context is very important. Top pepper. The flower elf finally got why the lady had died even after stealing and eating her flower. What? The flower elf finally got why the lady had died even after stealing and eating her flowers. Okay. I don't know what that means. I might do the braids. I might do crisp night. Oh. That's cute. Oh, that's the moon dress from the angel. I think this is probably the one. I don't love it, but, you know. I like that I don't have to change much about it. Awful. Ooh, cozy. Socks, let's see. I would just love some normal stockings. I just want invisible points. I don't need all this other stuff. I don't even know what's going on with that. Ay. Maybe none of these? It's too distracting. Speaking of distracting. The coat with the sandals is a bit confused. Oh my god. Look at these cartoon shoes. I want something I don't have to dye. I just want something normal. Just something like really straightforward would be great right now. Those are okay. Sold. Accessories. Hat? No. That's kind of cute. A big rabbit mask. Fresh and sweet. Some glasses. How about that? Normal glasses. Up, please. Not down. There we go. Just some normal sized earrings. Necklace. Again, just a normal sized necklace would be great. Oh, bear glory. What's the story with bear glory? The shimmering little bear badge, the proudest attire of the forest warriors. No idea where that's from. Absolutely no clue. Let's just go with this. Handheld. Good enough. Entirely satisfactory. Sunny tour. Oh, guess what? Some dragonflies. I could get this deer. Spectral deer. That's kind of fun. I'm gonna go with the spectral deer. And then again, some just quick makeup. Just a little bit of lip gloss on there. Maybe some eyes. I like the bold lip. The bold lip is kind of working on this one. No, I actually kind of regret this. Just normal eyes. Normal eyes for me, thanks. It is wild that they don't lock your makeup, because Larry did do your makeup, huh? That's true. You're not wrong. Alright, this is fine. Quick deploy the dead sister card. Classic. Show the deer, show the deer, show the deer, show the deer. Yes! The deer is there. So important that the deer be there. Perfect. The wind knows me. Bright whisper. Uh-huh, of course. Here we go. Here's the one we don't have. Nighttime skyline. Alright, that's what we have to work on. Ooh, man, the sweaters in this game look so comfy. They just really know how to make a garment you're swimming in. Alright, so that's our story cutoff point today. I'll have to work on those socks. Which means mind travel. So we're done Bye Bye Hyacinth. That was Larry's little story. And I finished this outfit and I don't like it, but it's done. I guess that takes us to The Beautiful Lie. Which is an 11-parter. So we're probably not going to have enough points to do this, but we'll get as far as we can. Unexpected visitor. Excuse me. It's been over half a month since the Pate death. What? Despite hot discussion, the investigation result has yet to be out. Hence, the moment the task force leader arrives, all journalists rush towards him like herrings in a barrel with their devices. Okay.
Can you tell us the investigation result of the case? Did Pate Pharmaceuticals have violations in its clinical trials?
Are the company's approval documents of clinical trials legal and compliant? Did the regulator have dereliction of duty?
Is there any solution to the compensation that's been concerning the victim's family?
Upon investigation, Pate Pharmaceuticals indeed conducted criminal offenses in its trial process. Relevant investigation and evidence collection are still in progress. I believe there will be an official result very soon. As for compensation and regulation, we'll pay attention and keep investigating. Thank you.
Please wait, I have another question.
The task force leader does not respond to any further questions. Instead, he nods to the crowd and then leaves in a hurry. There's been no progress in the investigation. The case seems to be much more complicated than I imagine. While lost in thought after watching the interview on TV, I hear someone knocking lightly on the door of the firm.
My dear detective, are you busy now?
Yes. Sean, what brings you here?
I planned to visit here a long time ago. It's just that I haven't had any opportunity until today.
You can just come over because you want to. You don't have to have, like, a reason. Opportunity? Sean seems to be concerned and indecisive. At last, he raises his head, looks at me, and talks to me in a sincere and serious tone I've never heard before.
Actually, I came here today to ask you for a favor.
Yeah, here we go. Next, he explains his commission to me in detail. Turns out a man who's been nice to Sean and his family is suspected by the police, as this man has had indirect contact with a suspect at large. Okay. And this suspect at large is Farah, a higher up of Pate Pharmaceuticals, also the #1 culprit of the drug death. The more I know, the more serious I feel. The case is so special that ordinary people can hardly investigate it, let alone find evidence to exclude the man as a suspect. No matter how hard I think about it, I can barely help.
I understand. But I'm worried about Mr. White. He's been suspended from his duties and he's under investigation. He's distressful and doesn't feel well.
Seeing his worried expression, I start to feel low. That Mr. White must also be important to him. Yeah, it's sad when your childhood friend that you're not really dating has other people he cares about. The case is tough, but I think there's something I can do, though. Hearing what I say, Sean blinks in a confused manner.
You mean?
I'll help investigate the case. Though I can't guarantee you anything, I'll do whatever I can.
Then I'll rely on you.
Don't do that. Shall we set off for now?
Of course.
Since I'm going to investigate the case, why not get changed into something neat and cool? Yeah, sure. Why not? Simple and cool. Easy. We'll just throw a set on. Kitten stars. Oh, I love this game. I just do. I wonder if this would get by. Probably wouldn't get full marks. Simple and handsome. Let's see if it'll let us get by with this. Perfect. Lilac Firefly. They fucking love fireflies. Someone on this team, I see you and your obsession with fireflies.
Here we are.
Sean and I arrive at 7 Cent Cafe, which has gone viral on the internet. Okay. Its signature dishes are healthy salads. Great. Sean says this is the place where the suspect shows up for the last time before he flees. What? The police think that the suspect meets his accomplice here and gets his identity documents for fleeing. What are you talking about? Therefore, all customers at the cafe during that period are deemed suspicious by the police, including Mr. White. First things first, we need to access the surveillance video during that period and locate the most suspicious person so that our investigation can proceed.
What's your plan?
Time to show our performance talent, my superstar. Ugh. Ew.
Huh? What?
I grab Sean's hand and walk hastily to the counter of the cafe, looking rather worried. Excuse us, we lost an expensive necklace in your cafe a while ago. Could you tell us whether you ever picked up anything that could be our necklace?
Sorry, but can you describe your necklace?
That's just Sean. They didn't even get a different voice actor. It's just Sean's voice actor again. I nudge Sean, hinting that he should play his part.
Huh. Let me think about it.
Oh my god.
It's an evening star, customized necklace for spring and fall. The pendant is a butterfly made of 10K blue diamond.
For spring and fall? Also a 10-carat blue diamond? Holy shit. 10K diamond necklace. He's a really bad liar. If I weren't in the same boat with him, I might even think I misheard it. The waiter is obviously startled by such an expensive lost item and begins to check records.
Sorry, there's no such necklace in our lost and found records.
Uh-huh. I mean, there wouldn't be. Good lord. Maybe it was picked up by other customers? Could you please show us the surveillance video on that day? Please.
Okay, let me check it.
Oh my god.
The time is a Thursday, half a month ago.
That day seems to have left a deep impression on the waiter as he finds the video on that day quickly.
Some officers happened to check that day's video the other day. The record is right here. Please, have a look.
Wonderful, thanks. While following the waiter to the staff rest area, we hear a loud beep from the floor.
Welcome to 7 Cent Cafe. Your weight is 100 points. Kilograms.
What?
Your body fat percentage is high.
Oh my god.
Please exercise more.
Unbelievable. I look down only to find that Sean also steps on the edge of the scale for body weight with 1 foot. Seems he is curious about the scale. What are you talking about? Why is there just a scale built into the floor of this cafe?
I never thought this is a scale.
What
Wow,
are you
this is
talking
pretty
about?
responsive.
Why does the scale know the name of the cafe?
Welcome to 7 Cent Cafe. Your weight is 85.42 kilograms. And your body fat percentage is...
Is this because they're like a viral salad cafe? Like a healthy salad cafe? That's fucked up.
Welcome to 7 Cent Cafe.
Seeing him having fun with the scale, I can't help but sigh. No wonder people always say do not judge a book by its cover. Even a superstar like Sean can be that childish sometimes. While teasing him in my mind, I take a seat. At this moment, I hear the voice prompt of Juana. A sweet and hot outfit for a party? It's pretty popular. Yeah, alright. Sweet and sexy party wear. Easy. Some quick makeup. Let's see here. Some demon eyes. A little bit of lipstick. A little bit of blush. Eyebrows are fine. Eyeliner, maybe? Party eyeliner? Now we're looking tired. Eyeshadow. These don't look great with this look. I wonder if it's the death lipstick, like the fucking corpse-colored lipstick. Might be. Might have something to do with it. Okay, let's get something fun standing behind us, and then we'll see how it goes. Special... Dolphins? Are dolphins sweet and sexy? They're pretty sweet. All the blue's distracting. I don't love it. Should bring the deer again, maybe. Is the deer sexy? It's not really sweet or sexy, huh? Shit. Oh, it would... Okay. So the dolphins are acceptable. Cattail. Special meow. What if I dye the cattail? Oh, can't unlock all. Not enough. What if I get like a nice, like a neutral base tail color? It's like a pretty tame, normal tail color. Like that. I think I like that more. And then for the ribbon, go with one of these defaults, like that pink. Or, I mean, I can't get to black, but actually I could get to black, couldn't I? Extend this palette. Oh, and look at that, lucky. Automatically unlocked the black palette. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Ooh, that lipstick is not the right choice. The lipstick plus the eyes is like a little scary in a way I didn't expect. Like she looks like she's secretly a mushroom, like a person made out of mushrooms, and she's gonna take over. Oh my god, the eyes! I didn't know they were like pulsing like that. Scary. Very scary. $7-cent cafe. After the surveillance video of that day is played, Sean and I fix our eyes on the screen. 7-cent cafe, Thursday morning. At 11:23 a.m., Mr. White came inside the cafe with a shopping bag and took a seat after ordering food. At 11:38 a.m., the suspect came inside the cafe and took a seat that was blocked by a plant behind Mr. White. At 11:47 a.m., Mr. White finished eating and left the cafe. At 11:50 a.m., the suspect stood up and walked toward the restroom. At 11:55 a.m., the suspect directly left the cafe without returning to his seat. At 11:57 a.m., a waiter noticed a lost shopping bag while cleaning the table and took it to the staff rest area. Frowning all the time, Sean and I repeatedly watched the video in which the suspect showed up.
In this video, it seems that the suspect didn't contact anyone. Then when did he complete trading? Could it be in the restroom?
I think it over and rule out this possibility. The restroom can be frequently cleaned. If the accomplice hides anything there in advance, it can be lost or exposed. That's too risky. If they choose to trade face to face, that's no doubt way much easier for the police to narrow down the scope of investigation. In that way, their identities can be exposed much faster. Anyway, the cafe doesn't seem to be a perfect trading spot.
It makes sense. Oh, if only the plan had not been there. At least we could see clearly what the suspect did.
I focus my attention on the plant in the video again. I can't help but feel that something important is hidden there. Sean, shall we ask Mr. White for some information? Maybe he'll give us some clues.
Okay, let's go.
We tell the waiter that it's a pity that we do not find any clues about the necklace, and also express our gratitude towards him. Before leaving, Sean orders 2 cups of its signature coffee, one for me and the other for Mr. White. He doesn't want any? However, we wait for over 20 minutes before the waiter finally packages our coffee and gives it to us apologetically. What the fuck?
I'm so sorry to have kept you waiting. We've been short on people lately. Please, take this mug as your gift. Hope that you'll come back in.
I'm a bit confused, as there are many other staff members busy with their work behind the counter. What about others? I noticed that you also have many takeout orders. You guys must be busier during peak hours.
Yeah. Some time ago, our manager quit to take care of her children, and a fellow responsible for takeout packaging suddenly quit too. We haven't found appropriate substitutes yet, so we've been overloaded.
After the brief chit-chat, the waiter is busy preparing coffee for other customers. On our way to a community with pleasant scenery... On our way to a community with pleasant scenery, okay. I ponder on what the waiter said. Upon arrival, Sean opens the car door for me. Then, he seems to remember something.
By the way, do you still remember we're here to...
Fetch the limited edition Starry Sky mug for members of 7 Cent Cafe collected by Mr. What the fuck? What? Okay. By the way, do you still remember we're here to fetch the limited edition Starry Sky mug for members of 7 Cent Cafe collected by Mr. White?
And these gifts are just our...
Tokens of greetings. Okay, it's a cover story. Okay. Sean nods with satisfaction. Then he takes more than a dozen shopping bags, holy shit, from the trunk like a confident king.
Okay, let's go upstairs.
Sure. Upon hearing that, I grab him immediately.
What is it?
I don't look like a mug enthusiast, do I?
Since you say so.
Yeah, I should dress like a mug enthusiast.
Maybe an elegant and fresh outfit would be better.
It's important to dress like a mug enthusiast. Time to try a pastoral outfit. They love mugs. Elegant, pure, and pastoral. Elegant, pure. Pastoral. Stick with the dress, you know. Oh. No, none of those. Okay, I guess this looks like a person who likes mugs. I don't... Yeah, people who like mugs also really like potions. That's true. Ugh, I don't like the flower in this set. It's like weird. It's like an alien flower. I hate it. Oh, it's like leathery. No, thank you. Secret pastoral tattoo? Very important. Alright, I'm gonna bump pastoral out of the word list here just to get some broader options. Oof. I hate those pigtails. That's kind of fun. Coat. Nope, no coat options that are compatible with this dress. Gotcha. Texture on the top of these is really something. I think maybe just no tights. Oh my god. Yeah, maybe just no tights. Or those. Those are okay. Okay, let's see. Slightly more reserved necklace I think would be great. And maybe some kind of bracelet. Some kind of tame, safe, really unchallenging bracelet. Ooh, lemon bracelet. I love that. Deer is pretty pastoral. Or the dragonflies. I might do the dragonflies. I don't know. No, I'm gonna do the deer. When you get the deer, you have to use the deer. Okay, what kind of lipstick was someone who likes mugs wear? Probably none. To keep the mug clean. Right? So that would put us down at wake up. Yeah, okay. What kind of eyes would you use to look at all your mugs? I don't even have a joke answer for this. That's fine, we'll use those. A little bit of blush. Not gonna worry about eyeliner or anything like that. Or face paint. I do kind of want to dye this dress though. Oops, that's not. Here we go. Oh, there's fun options for this one. I think I might just want to shuffle these colors around a bit though. Now the hat's bugging me. Any good presets on this thing? That might work. No, it didn't like that. Unlock? Oh, fuck off. Extend. Then unlock. Thank you. That one's unlocked, that's good. And then this one. Unlock this. Okay. That's someone who probably likes mugs. I think we succeeded. Good point. You can hang the mugs off the antlers of the deer. That's true. I love the hand going up and then the deer's face is there. It's like the deer was always supposed to be there. Cheapskate's gift. Not a mug, I hope. It's not far from the elevator, but it pains me to see that Sean carries so many bags by himself. May I carry a few bags for you?
Oh, you don't have to. Carrying over a dozen bags is just a piece of cake for me.
A weird thing to say.
Then why not carry these as well?
Whoa, who the hell are you, and why do you have an actual illustrated everything? I hear a clear and cold girl's voice from behind us and look back at once. I see a lovely yet cold and proud girl with several shopping bags in her hands. Sean is obviously close to her as he says no to her without hesitation.
Nope. If we put all bags together, how can Mr. White tell our gifts apart?
Okay.
Is there any difference?
Of course, my gifts are more expensive.
What the fuck? The girl shoots Sean a glance, walks past him calmly with her bags, and says,
Meanie.
Yeah, that was rude.
Hey, watch your language!
Oh my god, I don't like these two. Seeing that Sean is choked by what she says, the girl just ignores him and walks toward me directly.
Hi, I'm Jasmine, Sean's younger sister. Nice to meet you. Sorry about what happened just now.
Hey, we're childhood friends and I don't know you? That's sort of weird. I didn't know he has a sister? What? Hi, just call me YN. I'm Sean's friend. I don't expect that Jasmine gives me a naughty smile and then gives Sean a meaningful look.
I've heard about your name many times from somebody.
Huh? Is that so? What Jasmine says is out of my expectations, so I look towards Sean beside me in a confused manner. Come on. Every time you meet someone who is tangentially related to one of these guys you hang out with, you hear the same line. You've got to accept it. You've got to just accept that they're talking about you.
It's getting late. How about we chat upstairs? Mr. White is expecting us.
After that, Sean grabs the shopping bags from Jasmine and sprints into the elevator.
Never mind. That's typical of him. Let's go.
After we enter, Mr. White welcomes us hospitably and asks us to take a seat.
Come, take a seat. I haven't seen you in a while. Eat some fruit and take a rest.
I'm always saying this to my guests. Eat some fruit and take a rest.
Mr. White, this is my friend I mentioned before.
Nice to meet you. Hope my sudden visit doesn't bother you.
Of course not. I'm more than happy to see you guys. Come, take a seat.
Mr. White, please take these gifts. Let me put them in your room.
Always buy me so many gifts, but that's too many for me. How about taking some to your parents?
I'm gonna let Annie in. She's very upset. Hi. You can hang out for a little bit. You can have a live stream as a treat.
Please, the chess and painting tools are especially for Lynn. You must take these.
And these.
Okay, then let me thank you on behalf of Lynn.
Don't mention it.
By the way, Mr. White, how's it going for Lynn? Does he feel better?
Well, he's been taking medicine. The doctor said his bone strength is recovering gradually, but his treatment needs to continue.
Oh, that's good. His bone strength is recovering gradually. That's good to hear.
Excuse me for a while. I need to put the stuff in order first.
The stuff. Gotcha. Mr. White takes the shopping bags from the floor, cleans them carefully, and puts them into the cabinets by category. Though he lives alone, his home is clean and everything is arranged orderly. He also has good taste in decoration. While looking around curiously, I hear the voice prompt of Juana. Seems I can try a sweet and lively street style. Annie, what do you think of a sweet and lively street style? What do you think? Are you not interested in it unless you can rub your face on it? That seems right. Sweet, lively, and street. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Sea salt tart, the perfect set. For sweet and lively streetwear. Let's get something handheld in here. Like a bee. Let's get the bee in there. That's fun. Maybe some sunglasses? No. Hi, I know. Hello. Hi. Need some very pink lipstick. Maybe some face paint. Maybe a little bit of rainbow. Hi. Oh my god. There you go. Oh, you want to lay down. I see. There you go. Rainbow gum, maybe? Sandwing? Oh, maybe it's sandwing. Oh, what are her fashion types? That's a good question. I think she's probably simple, lively. That feels right. Maybe a little elfish. She's decided to lay on her back between me and the keyboard and is like waggling her head back and forth to rub it on my arm, kind of. And I'm just rubbing her tummy. Eventually, she'll get pissed off that I'm moving around and will leave. But until then, here we are. Innocence? Question mark? As Mr. White is occupied for the moment, I ask Sean and Jasmine about the person they mentioned just now. By the way, that Lynn you just mentioned, is he the son of Mr. White?
Yep. Mrs. White passed away early, and Lynn was brought up by Mr. White alone. Due to osteogenosis imperfecta, Lynn hasn't been well until recent years.
Osteogenosis imperfecta in brackets OI. Okay.
When Mr. White is super busy, my sister and I would help take care of Lynn.
I see. After a while, Mr. White comes back with a gift box in his hands.
Sean told me that you're collecting limited edition mugs of 7 Cent Cafe, right?
Yep, it's me.
Luckily, I always order takeout from that cafe, so I've collected quite a lot of them. You can take these if you'd like.
Seeing the box full of limited edition mugs, I feel overwhelmed with gratitude. Mr. White, it's so kind of you. Just one mug will do.
Nah, I drink much less coffee than before. These mugs are no use to me. Just take them.
Well, you should take them. Just for your information, he's not that generous usually.
That's weird.
Oh, I think I'm generous, except that I don't buy your snacks.
That's what makes you a meanie.
I kind of like her. The delivery on that was fun.
Whoa, guess who's a real meanie?
Okay, it's not cute when you do it, Sean. Their lovely conversation makes Mr. White laugh, who pats their head affectionately.
Homemade dishes are better for your health. Since I've been free recently, I learned several new dishes. Would you like to have braised shrimp, sweet and sour ribs, and coconut chicken soup for lunch here?
That sounds great.
Oh, Mr. White, is the case still not settled? Shall I ask my father to check it?
The case Jasmine brings up is obviously the one Sean commissions to me.
You don't have to. True blue will never stain. I believe the police will give me a just investigation.
True blue will never stain. What a weird line.
Ugh, but your work is severely affected. It can't be helped by waiting like this.
Don't worry. I know what I'm doing.
How can I stop worrying about you? Not only Jasmine and I, but even Lynn sent something weird. Mr. White, please, let us help you.
Hearing Sean's sincere words, Mr. White finally understands why we're here.
So, the reason why you're here today is to help me investigate the case?
We want to know more background information and details about the case, so that we can find out the real accomplice earlier.
Knowing Sean's purpose, Mr. White can't help but sigh. Then he decides to tell us about the current situation.
What Pate Pharmaceuticals did has had a great impact. Ever since Pate's higher-ups involved in the case fled to escape punishment, there's been no further clue. To further investigate the case and arrest the culprit, the police are eager to find out the accomplice and get clues from him. The thing is, the police can't find any record of the contact between the culprit and the accomplice, except for that meeting.
Their meeting went so smoothly, maybe they've made an agreement. Once there was something wrong, they would meet as planned. Or maybe there was a third party helping them with their communication.
A third party? I never thought about that.
You have a point. And do you think there could be any other breakthroughs in this case?
Actually, I've had a question. In normal clinical trials, the subjects would sign an informed consent. If the trials are legal and compliant, even though there are accidental deaths, the case should have been resolved through private mediation or legal procedures. However, the higher-ups of the company involved chose to flee. Don't you think this is too strange?
Indeed. That won't be the whole story, but it's not time to reveal the truth.
Okay. Truth, the rumor about the gene therapy trial is real? Seeing that Mr. White frowns and remains silent, we understand that it's inappropriate to further talk about it. What? Later, Mr. White has some chit-chat with us and then cooks in the kitchen with Sean and Jasmine. Is the tube Sean story real? That was gene therapy, right? So there's only me sitting in the living room. Luckily, the Mind Realm quest helps me kill the time. An outfit for an art exhibition. I think a solemn and elegant Chinese-style outfit will do. Why are you so wiggly? Can you not just sleep? Normal cats sleep. You're being a little worm. Being a wiggly little worm. Gorgeous, elegant, and Chinese. Oh yeah. Wear this to the art exhibit. 100%. Got the nail protectors on and everything. Sold. Makeup's even fine. Let's just go. Let's go with it. trying to get upside down? I don't understand. Oh, wait. Gotta get little lamb. After the topic of the case, Mr. White cooks a rich lunch for us. After lunch, Sean takes out the daily medicine from a medical kit and put it on the table for Mr. White. Whoa.
We elderly people really can't live without medicine. How I am envious of you youngsters.
Well, Mr. White, when climbing the mountain, a youngster was really envious of you because you were way ahead of him.
What?
That's because you carried too many snacks, okay? Otherwise, how could I eat too much and even vomit?
What the fuck are they How could I eat too much and even vomit? Okay, you want up now, I see. Guy starts talking about vomiting and suddenly she's not interested. No. I'm gonna get out of that. She loves licking the inside of used coffee cups, and it's not good. Teased by Jasmine, Sean strikes back without hesitation. Here they go again, and I help put the medical kit back. But it's weird because there's no medicine treating OI. After leaving Mr. White's house, there had been suspicions clouding my mind, fretting me somehow.
What happened? Why have you been so quiet?
He doesn't have OI, though. His son does. Noticing my low spirits, Sean asked with concern. Sean, can we go back to 7 Cent? I want to check something. Though puzzled, Sean said nothing but took me to the car and sped off toward the cafe. Oh, it's the mugs. She's gonna weigh the mug or something with the mug that she got from the cafe before, and it's like the mug's gonna have some sort of secret thing in it, right? There were now few guests in the cafe, and I strode toward the same clerk.
Hi, why did you get back here? Is there anything else?
I want to ask about the 2 clerks who resigned recently. I have something.
Oh, you mean Miss Sun and Shu?
Obviously, the clerk thought I was still inquiring about the necklace and began speaking before I could finish my words.
Shu is a part-time clerk here and responsible for packing takeouts and things like that. He is a really nice guy. A customer once lost a bag of cash here. He was the one who called the police to find the owner.
Bag of cash?
And Miss Sun is a veteran and has been a cashier for 3 or 4 years here. But she is quite reserved and I'm not so acquainted with her. I don't know much about her.
When exactly did they resign?
Miss Sun left here 3 weeks ago, and Shu about half a month ago.
That's kind of the same. That's like the same thing. 3 weeks. I guess it's like maybe it's like 2 weeks. I don't know. That's like kind of around the same time though. Was it Thursday?
It seems to be. Oh, it was the day you lost the necklace.
Uh-huh. Takeout. Member limited mug. Medical box. Pate case. Deal. Thursday. All of a sudden, clues in my mind were connected with each other, breaking me out in a cold sweat.
What's wrong? Did you find out something?
With a pale face, I looked at Sean's confused eyes and then turned my eyes to the scale on the ground. I have a bad suspicion and need to check it out. When the clerk played the same surveillance video, my eyes were glued to the shopping bag in Mr. White's hands. Is the bag also a lost property? What was there inside?
Just some ordinary snacks, and the owner didn't come back to find it.
By the way, how long can the machine here keep the weighing records? What?
About 3
What?
months.
Could you please help me to export all the weighing data during the time of the surveillance video? What the hell? That's not what I expected. Confused as he was, the clerk gave me the weighing records. I compared the data carefully and finally found out something I had been missing in the video. The weight difference of the shopping bag. This is the most roundabout way to get this.
Did you find something?
Looking at Sean's eyes, I found it hard to tell him about it. So is the scale at the entrance of the cafe or like at the back of the cafe? A message from Mind Realm spared me from the plight briefly. Let's complete the mission first before figuring out how to tell Sean about this. Try to change into a fresh and heroic outfit. Pure and cool. Yep, there it is. Pure and cool. Dead Sister card. The classic. What do we have here? Radiant invitation, eh? Don't mind if I do. After seating us in a quiet corner, I explained my speculation to Sean.
Did you mean that Mr. White is the accomplice? How could it be?
Upon hearing my words, Sean found it hard to believe and shook his head in denial. I know it's hard to swallow, but it's the most reasonable possibility for the moment. Mr. White hid the item for trade in the shopping bag, and then the suspect took the greenery as a cover to steal the item. That's why there is a 325-gram weight difference of the bag. We can't deny this fact. I don't understand how the bag is getting weighed. Like, if it got weighed a second time when the employee took it into the back room, how did it get weighed the first time when the guy just like came in to get the coffee? Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Sean obstinately kept shaking his head, murmuring to himself as a self-comfort.
Mr. White would not do such a thing. Never.
In silence, Sean lowered his head. It could be seen distress flickering in his eyes, and then he clenched his hand fiercely.
We need to find him, now. I believe he can explain it all.
Oh, buddy. We were in low spirits when visiting Mr. White's house. Mr. White noticed there was something wrong at a glance.
Hey, what happened? Why do you look so white-faced?
Sean raised his head and looked into Mr. White's eyes, opening his mouth after a moment of hesitation.
Mr. White, was it really an accident that you and the suspect showed up in the cafe at the same time?
Of course. Or what else would I do?
Then did you really not place something special in your shopping bag?
Mr. White turned pale and looked at Sean with shock and disbelief.
What do you mean? Are you suspecting me?
I just want to know if there were identity files that the man used to escape in your bag.
I don't really understand what this crime is. Facing Sean's blunt questioning, Mr. White's face turned grim and his voice turned harsh.
Sean, do you really know what you are saying?
Sean took out his phone, handed it to Mr. White, and played the surveillance video he shot.
You took a shopping bag with you that day. and in it were snacks that you would never buy.
Oh, we know what snacks are in it now?
You are a neat freak and always keep things in order, but you placed the bag straight on the floor that day, and you even forgot to take it away with you.
You could focus on that part. It doesn't have to be like, oh, you bought chips and you don't buy those chips.
You were suspended from your job, and even after you stopped ordering takeouts from 7 Cent, a clerk there resigned suddenly.
I don't get it. Stop. Oh, like there was some sort of thing. Okay, the smuggling.
Lynn's health had an improvement 3 years ago, and Pate Pharmaceuticals happened to enter the pharmaceutical market.
Pate Pharmaceuticals?
Mr. White, I don't intend to suspect you, but you need to explain these.
Explain? For what?
With a darkened face, Mr. White stared at Sean gravely.
You two just listed some trifles and tried to suspect my innocence. What evidence do you have to convict me and ask for my testimony?
The evidence is the weight of the shopping bag. I stepped forwards and took out the records of the weighing machine. There was nothing missing from this bag, but the weight was 325 grams less after you left. This doesn't make... How do you... You hid something inside it and left it at the suspect's feet on purpose, so you could complete the transaction unnoticed. Mr. White's hands trembled a little, and his eyes were tinged with despair and malice.
How could you know? Who told you all these? Tell me!
Mr. White, calm down!
Mr. White pushed away Sean, who tried to come forward with fury on his face.
No. All my efforts have gone in vain because of you!
Oh. Wow. Abrupt. Wait, what? Hearing it, Sean was frozen and his voice was trembling in shock.
It's you. Really. Mr. White, why would you do this?
For Lynn! My poor son!
Oh my god. Mr. White scowled and roared at them in a pathetic voice. A few white hairs were scattered messily on his forehead.
He was not born with a healthy body. He doesn't have a carefree childhood and will gradually lose his hearing. It's not fair!
I thought you said his bones were getting stronger.
Why should others be born healthy and my son has to suffer? Why?
So you collaborated with Pate Pharmaceuticals and let Lynn take the drugs they developed in the dark? But you have seen that they literally took their patients as experimental targets. It's dangerous. I would love to know more about what the actual crime that happened here was. I guess it was like people died, but like in trials? I don't know. And then he signed his kid up for a trial?
The drugs I got are different from those unfinished products. Stop your nonsense! I won't risk my son's life!
Are they different? How are they different? Mr. White's words revealed the fact behind the lies for Sean finally. He looked in disbelief at the crazy and reckless man as if he was changed into a total stranger. Sean faltered backward in misery and left here without looking back. Looking at Sean's fading back, Mr. White showed a bitter and remorseful face. On his weathered face, burning tears streamed down slowly from the corners of his eyes. When I chased after Sean downstairs, there was not a single trace of him in the empty community, and he didn't answer my call. I searched around anxiously and texted Jasmine about the current situation. I just have her number now. No big deal. Jasmine texted back an address soon and told me to meet her there. When we got there together, it was the middle of a fucking road, I guess. We saw Sean sitting on a bench as expected. Jasmine and I stopped our steps and couldn't help breathing a sigh of relief. Sean was lowering his head and making a paper butterfly in silence, looking fragile and perplexed.
Every time when he tried to escape from something, he would stay alone in a secluded place, like here.
Secluded, like in the middle of this road.
In fact, he knew how to deal with Mr. White's business better than anyone, but he just found it hard to do that. I will get back to Mr. White for a talk, so please take care of Sean for me.
Can I really be of help?
Of course. You're also important to Sean, and he will take your words carefully.
Jasmine's words surprised me a little and somehow made me hesitant. Can I really help Sean sort out his mind? Oh, I'm gonna mind palace Sean. Who am I gonna dress like to mind palace Sean? Maybe this time I should listen carefully to his inner voice. Then let's change into a experienced and mature outfit as Mr. White does, which certainly can remind Sean of him. Ooh. I didn't think it would get weirder than dressing up like Larry's mom or whatever the fuck. Okay. Experienced and mature as Mr. White. Huh. Simple and elegant. Okay. Well, let's dress like a middle-aged pharmaceutical rep, I guess. Why? That might be more. That might be something. I don't know, fuck it, let's go. Imagine this from Sean's perspective, where you just learned like an old family friend was like doing bad stuff and got yelled at and stuff. And he's like kind of trying to cope with it after he tried to defend this guy. And then the girl he has the biggest crush in the world on walks up behind him in this public place, dressed vaguely like this old man. What would that experience possibly be like? We'll have to wait and find out because we're out of Mind Realm juice. Tragically. Oh wait, but it just let me do it anyway? Do those ones not cost juice to use? Can we just listen to all of it because it doesn't cost juice? Oh, that's a blessing and a gift. I gently walked to Sean. Hearing my footsteps, he raised his head and was surprised at seeing my face.
Eh?
Eh? While Sean was in trances, I didn't hesitate any longer and concentrated on activating mind simulation. Here we go. Ooh. Oh, he's got a fun one. Oh, that's cute. I didn't expect it would be such a beautiful planet, dreamy and tranquil like a real fairy tale world. Uh-oh. Okay. It's a Howl's Moving Castle scarecrow guy. An exquisite blue evening dress and a bowler hat, handsome and lovely scarf and bow tie. Well, this scarecrow has a temperament as Sean does. Wow. However, it looks a bit sorrowful. Is it upset about something? Probably. What a cozy and beautiful house. Maybe Sean's family lives inside. Family is the only living thing on this planet. It should be something Sean cares about the most. Okay. Big butterfly. Is it a butterfly kite? Unfortunately, the string is broken. Should I try to tie it up? Yeah? Oh, okay. Oh no. Don't like it. Creepy. Creepy smile. Oh. The rainbow seems to melt into the sky and the earth like a path waiting for the return of someone who has gone far away. Perhaps the light in the rainbow carries Sean's attachment and care for those he loves. Okay. That seems less important than the kite. That's it? Alright, sure. Everything on the planet is so simple and warm, like Sean himself. The only thing he is afraid of is perhaps that all these happiness and bonds in his life will flow away with the wind. That's also why the scarecrow would look sorrowful after losing contact with the little butterfly. Oh, am I the butterfly? Sounds like I'm the butterfly. After experiencing Sean's inner world, I seem to get insights into Sean's mind gradually. Maybe Mr. White is like one of his family, and even though he did such a thing, he never thought of severing the bond with him. On the contrary, what he fears most is to lose this precious love and tie. And what I need to do is to make him believe in his heart. Sean, what do you think about Mr. White's business? Sean lowered his eyes silently, looking like a helpless child. Oh my god, I don't like this. I don't like him.
I don't know.
You know, you have thoughts. You're an adult man. I understand Mr. White is like a family of yours, so you can't accept those mistakes he made. But you can't escape from it as if nothing has happened.
I know.
Sean held a paper butterfly in his hands, and his bright eyes were filled with distress and remorse.
I just feel so terrible that I have kept on saying I love Mr. White, but it ends up that I never noticed his despair.
Well, what? I never noticed his despair. Okay. They gotta let these actors do second takes. I'm sorry. They do. It's, you know, you misspeak. It happens. It's not your fault. You gotta just do another take.
If I could do more for Lynn's health, maybe Mr. White would not have done this.
You're not a bone doctor. Sean, there is something that cannot be changed with only our efforts. Mr. White just can't accept the reality. He has borne too much burden and guilt, and step by step made such a big mistake. But you're different. You still have the chance to change all these.
Change everything?
Yes, to convince Mr. White not to make further mistakes. What we could find out, the police will find out sooner or later. Lest he would plunge deeper, we should awaken him to his mistakes. Only in this way can he turn back into the Mr. White you love. But if you choose to escape from this and do nothing, you will lose him for real. Hearing my words, Sean raised his head in a tremble. Unknowingly, his eyes were reddish and his voice was low and hoarse.
Even if he'll hate me?
I believe he won't. I took the butterfly, which Sean held tight in my palm. A gust of wind blew over, and the wings of the paper butterfly flapped lightly as if it was really dancing. Look, wherever there is wind, butterflies will flap their wings. It's the same for humans. As long as there is love, the bond between you and Mr. White will never disappear. Maybe Mr. White is like you and has figured it all out, but he is afraid to face the reality. Sean, please listen to your inner voice. You have long known the answer, right? Sean stared at the butterfly. Whoa. Music transition startled me. Sean stared at the butterfly in trance, his eyes reflecting a bluish glow. As if he had straightened out his thinking, he looked finally relaxed a lot and smiled bitterly.
I remember it was me who said these to ease your anxiety last time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I have never thought that one day I will listen to your advice, little girl.
Excuse me?
Looks like you have grown up a lot.
Come on. Out of shyness, I turned my head and cleared my throat in silence, despite being dressed like an old man. Ahem, I am not so much younger than you, and it's time for me to grow mature and dependable.
Well, I know that.
With a smile, Sean nodded in agreement and patted my head gently. Ugh.
Let's go. I will walk you back.
Pizza Nova, why do they always blow it at the end of these? This is a great question. Sean hadn't contacted me after that day and even scarcely showed up for work. What? Showed up for work? How would I know? His fans were all surprised by the sudden change in his schedule, but I knew he was doing something of great importance. After 3 months, the Pate lethal drug case finally saw the conclusion of the first hearing. As soon as the prosecutor came out, all the reporters rushed forward with their microphones.
What is the conclusion of the trial? Please, is there anything you can reveal to us?
What is the compensation for the victims' families? When will the result be announced to the public?
The case is going smoothly, and all the people involved will be sentenced one by one according to the law.
Hummingbell, this is side quest but canon. So not a card where the canonness is dubious. This is one of the Mind Realm ones. So it's like a side story that's not placed in the timeline, but for all intents and purposes seems to be part of the main story in that sense.
The court will also deal leniently with suspects who confess their crimes with great remorse. As for the compensation for the victims' families, we still need to wait for the conclusion of the second trial.
Looking at the prosecutor's answers in the interview, finally I was relieved from the ongoing anxiety. Thanks to everyone's efforts, things began to progress in a good direction. Suddenly, there was someone knocking on the office door. In the next moment, a familiar figure showed up under the dappled and dazzling sunlight.
Hey, Miss Detective! It's been a long time!
Sean, with a bright smile, waved his hands towards me. He looked still so charming and warm, while I somehow was lost in a daze. After that day of separation, I hadn't seen him for 3 whole months. Maybe it had been too long. He looked different, but I couldn't tell it. Have you been busy lately?
Yes, kinda. But it's all over.
Sean's voice was tinged with fatigue, but also with gentleness and composure.
It's because of you that things can come to an end so fast.
Then what about Mr. White now?
He's okay. Jasmine and I have been taking care of Lynn recently. Don't worry. I come here... Actually, I came here to give you something.
Sean took out a delicate box from his pocket and handed it to me, and then he touched his nose sheepishly.
The agreed remuneration. I racked my brain for it for a long time, but I still thought I should give you this.
Mouth cat art, is it a mug? I wonder. What if it just becomes canon that she likes mugs? As if it wasn't like an act. It's just, oh, you like mugs. Here you go. What's this? Oh my god. The music changed. I curiously opened the small blue velvet box, and a beautiful butterfly bracelet was lying there. My first thought was generally, oh god, please don't be proposing. The delicately carved ice blue wings on it shone with gorgeous, dazzling light, as if the butterfly would start dancing at any moment. Is that a 10-carat blue diamond? Because if not, I'm not interested.
Actually, I wanted to give you this a long time ago, as a gift for our re-encounter.
Oh, that's why he was so quick to describe it. That's kind of cute.
I have tried to give it to you before, but I always failed to find a proper time. And I didn't know if you would like it.
Sean kept murmuring to himself, and on his face there was nervousness that could be seen rarely. Of course I love it, but it's just too expensive. I can't take it.
What is the most important is whether you like it.
Sean's eyes were glowing with charm, and he solemnly tied the butterfly to my wrist.
It has been long waiting for you, so you have to take it.
Sean's voice was gentle and sincere, and his eyes were glowing softly like diamonds. Only at this moment did it strike on me the little butterfly that the scarecrow kept waiting for in the fairy tale-like world. Only at this moment did I realize something. I accepted the most precious gift ever and couldn't help being touched. Some detective she is, jeez. Thank you, I'll take care of it.
Did you hear that? Your master has accepted you, so stay with her and ensure her safety from now on.
Don't talk to the bracelet like that. Sean poked the butterfly on my wrist. The way he talked to it amused me. It doesn't amuse me, I'm sorry. The way he looked now recalled me of the little boy I first met years ago. Yeah, no, I know. He's been like little boy mode this whole time. It's creepy. It was his childish but warm smile like this that helped me survive those difficult years of my childhood. Perhaps now it was my turn to stay by his side and protect him. To hold his hands and spend together the long years ahead. No. Ugh. Icky. I just don't like Sean. I'm sure for someone, Sean is perfect. But I am not that person. And I will never be that person, and that's okay. That's fine. You don't have to be a Sean liker. You just have to respect the Sean likers out there and hope that they'll respect you for not liking him. Alright, my throat's killing me. I'm gonna call it for today. Thank you all. Sorry, Potato, not for you just got here. Thank you all for hanging out. I'm glad we got through Sword. I'm glad we got some story progress. And I'm glad we got through that weird fucking Mind Realm thing, which I didn't think we would. It's always good when one works out. Where'd my cursor go? Oh, 1 second. Here we go. I just remembered. We have a ticket. Do I want to use it on Essence or Beloved? Let's go with it. Let's go with Beloved. Great, I already have that. Alright, cool. I hope y'all have a good weekend. I will be back with more of this game at some point. Yeah, we made good progress today. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the early breaths of autumn, or if you are in the southern hemisphere, the early breaths of spring, I guess. Have a good one.